Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers, and sojourners of truth. The 144, the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few, and you know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Akila Textry in the divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from the 5D fifth dimension. Those of you who know the split is happening, right? And as usual, I bring you the news to infuse with, if you so choose. And I don't know about you, but I choose to infuse with that light always, right? So with that said, this is a very important message, right? I haven't done a video in a couple of weeks, since probably about the Pluto and the Sun conjunction into Aquarius, and that was a big deal, and a lot has been happening. I'm sure some of you have been feeling it. It's been a bumpy ride, turbulent energy, because they joined at 29 degrees in Capricorn and moved over into Aquarius together. And since we've been in the Aquarius season, some other planets have joined the stellium. It's been a stellium, right? Mercury being one of them, fast moving planet, communication. Then there is Venus and there is Mars that just came together in a conjunction in Aquarius at 5 degrees, right? So the important message that I have, and this is something that like I said, I was in a series of dreams about before I get into the cosmos of it and everything. It's like I was hearing a cry out from the Patriarch. And I know most people want to just get rid of the Patriarch, throw it all away. And I have this to say, as I always say, do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Or, as my father once told me, do not move from one extreme to the next, right? Which is what is happening. What this is about is this is a misunderstanding of the Patriarch while we are seeking for the Matriarch. What is it that I'm saying? It's a misunderstanding of the divine feminine while we are seeking. So let me rephrase that. A misunderstanding of the divine masculine while we are seeking the divine feminine. And as most of us know, there is so much of the divine feminine that is pouring in and has been pouring in an influx since about, as I say, from May 2020, around that time. It's just been pouring in and pouring in. And a lot of us have been misunderstanding this influx of the divine feminine. We've been misconstruing it and taking it in our own light and our own might and our own will. And this is why we have to lean not on our own understanding, meaning the false understandings we've been holding for so long. Remember, the old concepts are deconstructing. They are falling down. So we can't move into the new constructs while dragging along the old constructs. And yes, I'm speaking about situations or things that have to deal with the Patriarch. Most of us know we've been under the patriarchal rule for the past 1,000 years or so. And yes, we are moving back into a matriarch, but it's not to do without the masculine. It's something that I've always been saying. As the divine feminine is pouring in, it's not for us to do without the masculine. I've always said this, but I got it on a different understanding last night as I had a series of dreams that kept going back. It's like it was showing me in sequels, in different ways, in series, through something specific. But it was showing nonetheless the Patriarch that is pretty much crying out and saying they're not allowing me to be feminine. Like, that's the main theme that I was hearing. They're not allowing me to be feminine. So what is it that is happening, that is going on? And this is the important message, and take it how you take it, however it works for you. It's speaking to us on many levels, in volumes, at a multi-dimensional aspect. Take it how you can take it, right? But there is so much that has been going on leading up to that, and has to do with a lot of what's happening now, especially those of you who are in relationships, or you may be seeing the masculine feminine type of turbulence going on, because it's asking for a balance. And I want to tell you why, cosmically, why it's asking for a balance. Like, I always like to connect us to the cosmos, because we must understand that the universe out there is first from the universe within here, and it is very interactive. We live in an intrinsic cosmic design, and the more we understand the cosmos, the more we will get things explained to us. Like, even what I'm saying to you is because of what I understand with the cosmos from the ancient ancestors in my blood, because I'm in my DNA activation. My DNA is activated. I'm doing my soul ascension and elevating. When you do the work, you unlock these answers, these codes within your blood, as I always say. So leading up to that, as we get into that, I want to remind us that Pluto Sun conjunction kind of catapulted us into some things. I've even been through it. I've been through a whole spiritual warfare about a week ago. I've had to deal with, I went to 2 funerals in 1 week, and one was like a triple funeral, 3 people at once. And this is, and I say this because that one was something that was coming off of something generational, which I have been speaking about. This Pluto going into Aquarius. Aquarius is, humanitarian. It's social. It's an air sign. And remember, our south node is in Libra, which is also an air sign, and it's also about the we. Who is the we? The collective. The we that is in our mind, meaning the multiple aspects of ourselves. The we that is us within a relationship with one another. The we that is in a collective community, whether it be a family or a system, a society, the we, right? And in the we, in this collectiveness, as Pluto is bringing revelation, as it has brought it, 3 to 4 weeks ago, and now we are here. We're here where today is actually the full moon in Virgo. Happy full moon in Virgo for those who have Virgo moon. I'm one of them, commemorating our moon sign, as we are moving more into our moon sign, which is our inner world, right? I digress. I want to stay focused on what the message really is, because I really want us to get this and understand this in the best possible light that we can. Elevate it, take what you're getting, do away with doesn't resonate with you, and just really hold on to the resonating truth within, right? The resounding truth, or truth resonance, right? And so this has been happening, and what led us up to today, there has been a Venus and Mars conjunction at 5 degrees. I want us to listen to this 5 degrees. There's something about the 5 degrees that it is showing us. So they came into conjunction 5 degrees into Aquarius, moving together through up to about 8 degrees. When they got to 8 degrees, then here is the full moon at 5 degrees, right? So meaning the moon is at 5 degrees Virgo, and the sun is at 5 degrees Pisces. It's a full moon, so they're in opposition, right? So they're highlighting some things. It's bringing the practicality. Virgo is about practicality. So it's bringing the practicality into the mix of what we are seeing. So let's talk about it. What is this 5 degrees? The 5 degrees, for those who don't know, 5, the number 5 in numerology, can mean different things for different people. Like I said, take what resonates with you. In my interpretations, 5 degrees means the balance between the physical and the spiritual. And we've been here before in July. The last time I believe that Venus and Mars were moving together was in July, and I believe they were moving together for about 18 days. So that was something in itself that I spoke on, that represented 2 sets of 9, which is a spiritual completion, times 2. That was in July. Now we're here. They meet together at what? 5 degrees. Showing you that there's a balance to be had between the physical and the spiritual. Keeping in mind, the physical usually represents the masculine. The spiritual usually represents the feminine. Venus is feminine energy. Mars is the masculine energy. So them two coming together is really exemplifying, highlighting to us the balance between the physical and spiritual. This is what the cosmos are saying. If we're putting our ears to the cosmic streets, this is what the cosmos are saying. So there's something that is to come into balance and come into harmony. And I didn't get the fullness of it. I saw it coming, and I saw mainly it may have to do with relationships, how we see finances, bringing a balance to the physical and spiritual aspects within ourselves. Also the balance between the masculine and feminine within ourselves, first and foremost, and then of course with one another, especially if you're in relationships. Some relationships may be falling apart because the harmony is showing you, if you're paying attention, that maybe whoever you are with, you're no longer a match and there is no harmony. So there has to be a falling away. For some, it may be bringing people together on one accord. It depends on how it works with you, and it depends how you have been working with the energies, right? So with that said, I bring us to the understanding of the misunderstanding that we're talking about, that the dream was showing me. So the misunderstanding is the patriarchal rule that we all know we have been coming from. Mind you, all of this that we're seeing with the 5 degrees of the balance and the harmony, Venus and Mars leading up to now what? The full moon is matching it at 5 degrees. The full moon is repeating something at 5 degrees. It's saying, yeah, it's backing up what we're asking for, or what the universe is implying of the balance between the physical and the spiritual. It's bringing the practicality. It's bringing us grounding ourselves in it. It's bringing the healing, because Chiron and Mercury rules Virgo. So it's also bringing the healing. So some of us may feel some of that, right? Also keeping in mind that our North Node is conjunct with Chiron in Aries. And who rules Aries? Mars, right? So look at what we're seeing here, right? Mars, the initiator, the planet of passion, taking initiative to do something, right? With our North Node and Chiron being there. So there's some healing that needs to take place. The full moon is backing all of that up. This is where the planets are right now, if we're paying attention. Venus rules also Libra, where our South Node is. So there's something to be said there that has to do with relationships, finances, the we, right? Aries is more the me, Libra is more the we. So Mars is more the me, Venus is more the we, but we're looking for a harmony between the two. So, and I want us to really look at masculine, feminine. So as I talk about the patriarch, this is a key important part. The patriarch, we usually look at it as like, oh, we need to get away from patriarchy. I know, I've been there too, and we're excited to move towards the more feminine things in life because we feel this feminine energy pouring in. But it is to balance, it is not to get rid of. So what do I mean by that? What do I hear crying out is I hear the patriarch of the divine masculine, right? Not the misappropriated masculine. I want us to understand that this is also a twofold, right? Let's look at the matriarch as a twofold and the patriarch as a twofold. So the patriarch has its misappropriated masculine and its divine masculine, right? And we're seeking all of this divine feminine is coming in to pour in, to bring a harmony, to pull us away from the misappropriated masculine so we can be risen and have a harmony with the divine masculine. So we have a patriarch and a matriarch. It's not for us to bring in the divine feminine, equal in matriarch, booting out the patriarch. Right? It's not for us to get rid of it. It's for us to understand the misunderstanding, which is what the patriarch is kind of screaming out right now. Like, hey, you're not letting me be feminine. What does it mean by that? For the past however many thousands, hundreds of years, or 1,000 or 2 years, it's been a heavy patriarchal rule under the misappropriated masculine, meaning the collective energies have been holding the fears of the masculine energy, an inferiority complex of the masculine energy, a misappropriated ego, all of this probably going as far back as the age of the ram, where the masculine energy was on this conquest, wanting to conquer, wanting to overcompensate for its insecurities and things like that, feeling insecure to what? The matriarch, the divine feminine. This is why they have made it their business to get rid of the divine feminine, to burn all the witches at the stake, to get rid of anything where the divine feminine is, to remove the ankh and put a cross, just to get rid of the circular part, the oval shaped part, which is the womb, the feminine, right? Completely extract the feminine and implement a misappropriated masculine. And yes, we have been under this rule, which is inappropriate. And yes, we are of the times now, excuse the noise, we are of the times now where the divine feminine is pouring in, and it's pulling us from that way far end of misappropriation and pouring in the balance to bring us to a, pouring in the divine feminine to bring us to a balance. And this balance says what? it says we're not getting rid of the masculine, but we are bringing a harmony. We're bringing together the sacred union. When we have that balance and that harmony, we will truly be in the sacred union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. What is that? A harmony of the patriarch and the matriarch. You know, the king and the queen, however it is you want to look at it, but we need both. And the king and the queen is also represented in our pineal gland around the third eye area. I believe it's the hypothalamus, and another one that represents the feminine and masculine within us, right? One operates the right brain, left brain. This duality, all of this duality within us is really a harmony between the masculine and feminine. It's not a duality where they are supposed to clash and pin one against another, which is what was happening in the misappropriations. So I say all that to say, you know, what if someone might be saying, blah, blah, blah. What are you saying now? What does it mean to us now? For now, because of this misunderstanding, there's an ironic thing happening. And the irony in this that I was seeing in my dreams is that although we are seeking the matriarch and the divine feminine, because we don't understand the twofold of the masculine, of the patriarch, the twofold of the patriarch, we think that we're doing the right thing by pouring the feminine in a way that is bumping out the masculine. And the masculine is saying, no, I need my feminine. The patriarch is saying, no, I need you to let me be feminine, because remember, we both have these qualities. Male and female created he them both as one. So both need to be in an equilibrium. So what we're doing is in the pivot, in this pendulum swing between the masculine and feminine, we're going way from one far end to the next, from one extreme to the next. And this is again, we're just doubling down in the misappropriations, and we're bringing in the feminine in a misappropriated way. So we're not healing the feminine. Some of us are bringing our wounded feminine, our misappropriated feminine into the mix. That means we're not allowing ourselves to feel. I have been seeing this now in families, including my own. How many of us are from a family that have a heavy matriarchal rule, but it's misappropriated matriarchal, meaning that the women in the family are so prominent in different ways. I can't even say a specific way, but for me, I could say for my household, it's prominent in a way where the women are more masculinated, right? More dominant, more masculinated. So it leaves the men in the family to be what? Emasculated, right? Emasculinated. Did I say that right? They're emasculinated, if I'm saying that right. And they're stripped from their, let's just say their manhood, what their masculine qualities are supposed to be for. So they're not in their healed masculine. They're not in their divine masculine, because the feminine is stripping them from that. Even though some women had to do it because of whatever reasons, because of the masculine not being there. For a lot of us melanated people, it has a lot to do with slave mentality. It's one of our slave traumas, our ancestral traumas, where the woman could not be there, where the man could not be there for the woman, and the woman could not be there to nurture the man. So there's this constant clash between them. And in modern times, we find ourselves in positions, and I hear the conversations all the time, that the men are not doing enough. And it's for us to understand what we've been through. This is why we need to have conversations, but we really need to do the work within here and undo a lot of the hurt. A lot of the traumas that we're holding in our minds are causing us to hold the misappropriations of the masculine. So we think we're doing a right thing, and this is the irony. And the patriarch is saying, no, 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 you got it all wrong. It's not what you think it is. It's not to get rid of me. It is to allow me to be one with my counterpart. It's to allow me to be feminine. So in some families, the masculine might be overriding the patriarchal of the family, may be overriding and having an iron fist towards the feminine, and it has to go their way or no way. And either way, even that is wrong, right? It is to say, allow us to be feminine. What does that mean? The feminine, let's look at the qualities. The feminine qualities are understanding, intuition, instructions. In order for us to get the instructions, We need to allow the feminine, means we need to allow the feelings, the emotions. All of this is feminine energy. We need to allow our subconscious feminine energy to come in. So the patriarch is saying, hey, they're not letting me have my queen. In a sense, it's like it's saying they're not letting me be a woman, but not in a sense in a misappropriated way, not in the sense of it being perverse in a certain way, right? It's not to say I want to be a woman, but allow me. It has nothing to do with gender at all. So get that out the door. This is all energy. The feminine and masculine energy within ourselves is asking for this harmony. It's bringing forth and calling forth 5 degrees, a balance between the physical and spiritual, masculine and feminine. So it's asking, allow my feminine counterpart to be a part of me. Meaning if you, let's say you are a man, I want to break this down so that we understand it, because we have some men out here like this. If you are a man, you're not allowing your feelings to come in. Let's say you are a man that comes out of that patriarchal, that matriarchal family that rules. The women are usually running everything, and you may have been emasculinated, but you don't know that you are. And you have this tough exterior because this is how your ego chose to protect you about it. So you have this tough exterior, and so you have the misappropriated masculine energy. And what needs to be restored, thank you, that's the word. We need a restoration of the patriarch. So you need to be restored, and in order for that, then you have to allow the feminine. You have to be willing to respect. The patriarch is saying, we don't have respect. We lost respect for my feminine identity, which brings me the instructions, which brings me the intuition and the wisdom. We've lost respect, so I cannot gain that. I don't have an equilibrium with that, and we're not allowing that. So as a man, you may not be allowing the feminine qualities to work well with you, and you're all guarded up, right? And as a woman who may be thinking that she's, oh yeah, this is the irony that I'm saying, she's thinking that she's doing the right thing, but she's pouring into feminine and completely disregarding the masculine energy, because we're just looking at, oh, we've been under the patriarchal rule, we need to get out of that, no more of that. But we're not looking at a restoration of the patriarch. And in order to have that restoration, we have to do a full investigation. Investigate in your soul. Investigate. Don't take this up with people outside of you and society outside of you. Believe me, if we all do it within our own self and our own soul consciousness, and this is what I feel like the dream was showing me, like the patriarch, it was showing me through physical means that things are happening out in the world and even in families. I'm saying to you, an important call right now is for us to please restore your families. But it starts within the self. When we restore ourselves, we can restore our families. And when we restore it in our families, when we restore the patriarch according to the divine masculine, then we are restoring the divine masculine of the patriarch within our own minds, and vice versa. So it's really asking us to come to this understanding. This is a grave misunderstanding, and I mean grave. So when I say this is an important message, I really, like I said, it was showing up in series to me. And I'm going to show you the series. All right, I'm going to close with this. I'm going to show you the series. It first showed me how it's probably showing up right now, meaning the pimple that needs to pop, meaning the degradation that you may be seeing happening. The person in your family maybe, or it may be you, or it's someone close to you, but there's someone who is acting out, right? And they are the pimple that popped from this misgrievance, this misappropriation. So this is where the patriarch, this is a result of the misguidedness of the patriarch, right? And the result of it, the part that's saying, hey, the patriarch is being really disregarded and it needs restoration. The proof of that is happening in someone who is acting out, whether it be a mental disturbance, whatever it is, they are acting out. And that is the evidence that something is clearly out of line, right? That is one stage. The next stage that I was being shown is the person that is venting somehow, venting and saying, hey, they won't let me do this. This when I started to hear the patriarch saying, they're not letting me be feminine. What it is saying is we are not listening to our feelings. We're not allowing the feelings to come in. We're not recognizing it. We're not allowing it. We're not investigating it. And then we're not nurturing it, right? Thank you for Miss Julene who lent that to me. RAIN, it's a method, right? Acronym for RAIN. This is what we need. It's a feminine quality that we need. We need to let it rain down on us, a feminine quality, allowing these feelings to come in. And so that second stage or step was where now it's at a point where those of us who are recognizing this or are seeing the pimple that popped, it's like we're saying, hey, something has to be done. Or we may not be noticing it, but this is being brought to your attention to please look around and see, ask yourself, where am I not allowing feelings to come in? And think real hard, because you may be saying that you are, but you might not really be. And this is why the patriarch is screaming out, the patriarch of the divine feminine. So that was the second stage or step. And the third part of it was like more of an elder, like a wiser, the elder of the patriarch that's saying, yes, ultimately I need a restoration. And specifically in families, restore your patriarch. Restore the patriarch that is under the divine masculine, that is using the divine feminine to pour in, to bring the harmony of the sacred union, to have both, to not get rid of. Look in your families and make sure you're not disregarding or degrading, because there is a degradation. I'm telling you right now, there is a degradation of the feminine and the masculine, but it is degrading the patriarch, and we need to uplift back our divine masculine energy. We need the males even in the family to be lifted back. If they are males that are already overactive and they have not humbled themselves, you have to know what is in your family. If you have overactive males that are overly alpha and they have not humbled themselves, they need more of the feminine. They need to listen so that they can humble themselves. And I'm speaking individually, guys, individually as well as collectively, the collective males. I'm speaking individually to those of us, whether you're male or female. I'm speaking to our individual soul consciousness. The individual masculine energy in you is your conscious phase of mind, aka your ego or your will. We need to sit with our ego. We need to sit with our will individually and collectively for the family and as well as for ourselves, and really check in, humble that self, and allow yourself to feel, whether you are a male or female. Remember, I'm saying this is not gender. Please allow yourself to feel. Sit that ego down. Sit that will down. Re-spirit yourself. I did a video on re-spiriting. Check it out. Re-spirit yourself and your soul, and allow that feminine energy to come in so that that patriarch can be restored. We want a patriarch and a matriarch together, right? We want the harmony, the patriarch and matriarch that holds the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We want to extract the misappropriated feminine, the misappropriated masculine, the misappropriated feelings and thoughts. This is what we want to extract to find that harmony and that balance, the number 5. And this is where the full moon in Virgo is asking us to be very practical with the Venus and Mars conjunction in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, so things are moving swiftly. And it is in conjunction with Pluto, which is in Aquarius, right? Bringing us the revelation. So pay attention to the revelations of truth as they have been coming to you, whether it's through beautiful means, ugly means, whatever it is, be mindful of it, right? And this is what I really want to share with us for this full moon in Virgo. This is raising me, like, I don't know about you, but it's raised my thoughts on this to a whole nother level. I'm elevated on these thoughts because I've always talked about not getting rid of the masculine, but finding a harmony and a balance. And now it's the patriarch that's saying, hey, those of you trying to kick out the patriarch, no, we're asking for a restoration in the soul self, between one another, in interpersonal relationships. So intrapersonal within self, as well as interpersonal between another, and collectively, individual and collective. Please look at yourselves. Please look at your families. This is an important message because I'm telling you, it was screaming. It's like the patriarch. If I could say the patriarch was in tears, the patriarch was unbelievably in tears. And this is, let's look at the irony in this. What you think you may be doing, it's not that. The patriarch is saying, that's not what's happening here. You think you're getting rid of something, but you're not. Check the masculine energy and make sure you're getting rid of the misappropriated masculine energy and the misappropriated feeling that is feeding that energy. So what am I saying to close this all out? Do not let your feelings feel you. Allow the feelings to bring and build the instruction. And this is what even the full moon is saying with us right now. It's asking us to allow those feelings to come in, even with the sun in Pisces and the moon in Virgo. Allow the feelings to come in and allow yourself to get the instructions of the feelings, but don't let the feelings come and overwhelm you, right? Don't let the feelings feel you up, and violate you, feeling you up, right? Allow them to come in and say, oh, I hear you. I hear you, my queen, the queen that is within me, whether you're male or female, and allow it to come in. This is so important. Please see the irony in it. Those of us, we're having perversions and misappropriations with how we are integrating and how we're bringing in the feminine energy and the matriarch. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Restore. Let's pull this out of the degradation that is in. We have our feminine in a degradation. We're not respecting our feelings. We're not respecting our feminine. So it's for us to bring it up and elevate it, honor it, and honor her as a beautiful bride coming out of its chamber, and bring her to her king, to her patriarch. Bring the matriarch to the patriarch, and you will feel that harmony and that balance. Whatever is falling away from you, let it go. It no longer serves you. Things need to be extracted, right? But don't throw it all away. Don't go from one extreme to the next. It's like as a society, we're being bipolar. We're going way from one end to the far end, and we need to bring it to the middle. Just bring it to a harmony, an equilibrium, a balance. 5, balance between the physical and spiritual. Balance between the masculine, feminine. Balance between the patriarch and the matriarch. Let's elevate and rise our matriarch in love and wisdom. Nurture it with the matriarch, right? And allow the patriarch to listen to the traditions, to the matriarch who leads with instructions, who has the compass and the answers. So let's honor that in ourselves. I say that to us right now with this important message to please honor the patriarch in you. I don't know about you, but I'm going to honor and restore this patriarch in my own consciousness, and as well as wherever I can share it with. Specifically, would love to do it with my family, but wherever the divine leads. So with that said, I leave these words with you. Look into where it resonates with you. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light.